Hello, fifth grade. Mrs. Dominic here. Today marks the very first day of our brand new adventure of art class at home. Because you are by yourself, more or less, and because Mrs. Dominic cannot be there with you to answer your questions, to go over things, uh, we're going to dial back a little bit, and our first assignment together is going to be reviewing the elements of art. The elements of art are more or less the building blocks that we as artists use to create all of our artwork. Whether I point it out or not, every last project we have had so far this year is focused around one, two, or three of the elements of art. So one of the questions is, what are they? And I'm borrowing this lovely handy dandy desk reference. It is by Crystal Productions, but the elements of art are line, shape, color, value, form, texture, and space. Some of these words probably sound very familiar to you, like line, shape, and color. Value, you probably know it as shading or making something appear 3D. Form is actually a 3D object, whether it's drawn or it's something physical in front of you. Texture is how something feels or looks like it feels. And then space is showing area, showing distance between things, showing stuff that is close to me and far away. These 7 ideas we are going to go over in a work of art. For the foreseeable future, when you are working on projects for me, I'm going to give you tasks to accomplish at home. And then when the whole project is over, whether I've given you all the steps or whether you work ahead and complete it, you are going to be uploading your image to Teams, your art Teams tile on Microsoft 365. And then that way I can grade it, I can give you feedback on it, and I can mark it as you completing it. That's how we're going to run art class for a while. Of course, during this time, if you are confused on something, if you have questions for me, if you want to contact me and show me something else wonderful that you've created, that's totally fine. Use the technology available for you to reach out and get to me, whether it's emailing me directly or contacting me through Teams. Either way, I am at your disposal. Okay? All right. For our current project, for this new one that we're going to do with the elements of art, you are going to need for yourself one good sized sheet of paper. I have a large white sheet of paper here. It is a little bit larger than an 8.5 by 11, a piece of computer paper, but if that's what you've got, that totally works for me. If you are lucky enough to have a large sized piece of construction paper, like the green one that I have for my background, and you have one of them in white or a cream color and off white, go ahead and use that. You don't need to make anything that's enormous, like the size of a poster. If all you've got are note cards, this is totally fine too. Find 8 of them, and eventually at the end of this project, we will just tape them all together to make your design. Okay? All right. Here we go. This piece of paper, whichever size you've got, we are going to be folding it up into 8 sections. So, first fold. Just fold it in half the long ways, like a hot dog. Please do your best. Match up those corners. Now we have two areas, but we need 8. So we're going to fold it twice more, 2 more times, like a hamburger. So we're going to go the opposite way. We're going to take those 2 short sides and bring them together 2 times. Ooh, match them up. I know this is the hard part. So there's once and once more. This should give us 8 equal areas. Okay. Once you have that, I'm going to fold it the other way too. But once you have that, open it up. Make sure you have all 8. I do. For ease of this project, I'm actually going to trace my lines. I want a big chubby pencil here for this. I'm going to go ahead and trace over my folds as nice and neatly as I can. Okay. I'm also going to number, and you can number them in any order that you like. I like going across, but again, however you want to is fine. If you want to put 1 over here and 3 over there and 2 over wherever, fine. I don't care. It will work out either way. Okay. Now, this time, the design. For this design, you are going to want to draw a line that is going to divide up all of these boxes, but flow from box to box to box. I used to do this project and I would describe it as a scribble, but I would get lines from kids when they scribbled in here that created spaces that were very small and made their lives very difficult. I don't want you to do that. I want you to calmly pretend that your pencil is like an ice skater and they are swirling around and making jumps and all kinds of things, but your pencil is never leaving this paper and you are never going to go anywhere fast. It is a calm, swirling motion. So, for example, I'm going to start my little ice skater's journey in box number 1. I'm connecting it with the side. I'm going to go ahead and go around. We're going to go this way and then come back out. I'm making big looping motions. I'm trying to avoid making super duper small areas. The smallest spot I've got, I think, is this little itty bitty triangle there, or this little itty bitty triangle here. And that's fine. When I go to color this page, I may very well just skip that bit altogether. Make sure that there's something interesting happening in every box. This particular one does not have this box, does not have very much happening in it, and that's okay. I may add a loop in there later. I may just start on this edge and loop up and come back out. But until I get to box number 5, I'm not going to know what I need. But for right now, go ahead, make some sort of swirly, slow, loopy design through all of your boxes. Leave big loops, not little speedy small things. Go ahead and do that now, and then we'll move on. Okay. Once you have your drawing, go ahead and set this to the side. And today we're going to talk about 2 of the principles of art. The first one is line. The second one is shape. Line is really important. It has some qualities to it that are pretty important. So, for example, line. It has 3 or 4 things that you want to consider whenever you draw a line. First off, it has size. Is it fat? Is it skinny? Is it long or is it short? What is its size? I can make a line that is pretty chubby, and I can make a very, very skinny line. And either way, for those of you who are cringing at home, yes, I understand these are line fragments and not a full line. But they have a size, right? Wide or thin. They have a frequency. which basically just means, are they close together or are they far apart? How often do you see them? That's its frequency. They have a direction. Do they go up and down? Do they go side to side? Are they diagonal? Which way are they going? Vertical, horizontal, or diagonal? And the last thing that you have, that a line has rather, is its style. And this is the one that most people care about. What does it look like? Is it castellated? Is it a wavy line? Is it a zigzag line? Is it a dotted line? Is it dashed? Is it straight? Is it curly? Is it conical? Does it start fat and become skinny? Okay. What does it appear to be? That's its style. So your lines that you're going to create are going to have different sizes, different frequencies, different directions, and different styles. I want to see what you can come up with. On your project, find box number 1, whichever one it was, and I suggest you fold your project so that all you see is box number 1. You don't have to do it this way, but I think it works out easier for you. In box number 1, you have all these areas. Some of them are continuous, like this large area here, and some of them are isolated, like you've got this little curved section, a little semicircle, and this little blob, this thing that looks like, I don't know, a wrench, pliers, people's hand. Each area, you need to put a completely different style of line in. Okay, you're going to be changing up the style, the size, the frequency, and the direction of the line in each section. So, for example, I can grab my trusty pencil here. I'm going to start out fairly easy, and in this circle section, I'm going to make a corrugated line. I'm going to make one that has a fairly frequent frequency. It's going to be going diagonally across my circle, and it's going to be pretty skinny. Okay, so what does that look like? Well, start with one line. My Easter egg got cracked in half. But there's its skinniness, right? And its direction. It's going diagonally. Its frequencies. How close together is it? I want a lot of these lines. So I'm going to keep repeating and repeating and repeating. And I'm going to stay inside of this shape. Do not leave this one little area until you switch lines. Okay, that one's done. Diagonal, thin, frequent, zigzags. Go to the next area. Come up with a different style of line and fill that area. Go to the next one. Come up with a new kind of line. And a new one and a new one until all of the areas inside box number 1 are filled. Go ahead and do that now. Welcome back. This particular box in our overall design is going to be black and white. So at some point, take your Sharpie and outline everything. Color in the fat stripes black, right? If you are going to have different areas being different shades of gray or something with your pencil, that's fine too. But for the most part, this particular box is black and white. The next box, box number 2 on our project, this box is going to be color. This particular box, we are going to have 2 boxes because we have an extra box, right? There's only 7 elements of art, but we have 8 boxes. So 2 of them are going to be dedicated to color. This particular box is our primary box. I'm almost positive that we have talked about the primary colors this year. Primary colors, for those of you who've forgotten, are the ones that we use to mix all of the other ones. Primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. For this box, I would like you to either use markers, crayons, colored pencils, oil pastels, whatever you've got, but find a red, a yellow, and a blue and color all of the areas inside of just this one box, just box number 2. Go ahead. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have time for today. I do have a couple of requests for you. First off, please make sure you are checking in on everybody's web pages, whether it's mine, your homeroom teachers. Also, please do not feel nervous about contacting me about questions or concerns. That's what I am here for. I am going to be uploading some vocabulary pages for you to my teacher page with some information about line, shape, color, value, texture, and space. Eventually, we will be taking a quiz on that material, but not until we are done with this project. Today, we did a little bit of learning. We drew it out. We colored. Next time, we're going to be doing, I believe, the rest of these boxes. And then hopefully after that, we will go ahead and your quiz will be available for you on Teams. Okay, I wish you luck. Can't wait to see what you all come up with. And I will hopefully be hearing from you soon. Mrs. Dominic out.